more possible than ever to become a global influence. Hi, I'm Harry McGowan, and I'm going to be talking about today how to find and create any kind of success in your life. This is the Global Influence Show, and I myself have been in business since 2017, for 8 years now. And so, if we want to create any kind of success in our lives, there's three core ingredients that we need to tap into and utilize. So, the first thing we've got to do, I trust you've heard it before, is just set a vision for where you're headed. It's set the goal, set up the outcome that you want to create, because the life we can live is the life we can language, and the results we can have, we've got to know exactly what they are. And the more specific we can be with that, the greater pull we can have towards it. Because I've worked with so many different individuals for almost 10,000 hours now. And the difference between somebody going after a goal and actually making it happen is something I majorly notice is how specific we can get. I was working with a wonderful lady earlier today, and her goal for this year is to just get some clients for her business. But that is not enough specificity to actually help you get there. We've got to be specific with the amount of clients, how long it's going to take to get there, and how much money are we going to make from doing so. And so together we broke down that she wants to get 5 clients in the next 90 days. And she's got a 3 month and 6 month program. She'll get 3 in the 3 month, 2 in the 6 month, and that's going to be almost $7,000 made. And so what we did there is take her goal from just being getting clients to knowing exactly how many and how much time, how much money is she going to get for it, and what's the service that she's going to provide. And that push, that pull that she now has towards that goal, and the vision, when she visualizes making it happen, it's only 5 people in the next 90 days. There's so much more source to connect with. And who wants to get saucy? I want to get saucy, baby. And so that is an example of why specificity is so important when setting up our targets, our goals, what we want to make happen, because we can see it so much more clearly and it matters so much. Because if it's just general and we don't have an idea of where we're headed, we're not tapping into a very important success principle, which is what we focus on is what we get. And the clearer picture we have, the more we can focus on it. And so right now, write down what your goal is and then break it down as clear as possible. And so you can really see where you're headed. And the next thing that we need alongside with that to really make it happen and get there is what I recommend is setting up daily tasks that contribute to the goal. And so, for example, with this wonderful lady who is going after 5 clients, to make that happen, she needs to start connecting with people, connecting with individuals as much as she possibly can. And so we set up that every week she's going to message 15 people. And so by messaging 15 people, those can turn into conversations. Those conversations can turn into booked calls, and those booked calls can turn into sales. And so those sales equal the 5 clients. If she doesn't start messaging people, she doesn't start getting into a rhythm or putting herself out there, she can't get closer to the goal. And so some other things can be tied along with that. But the core message, the core importance of what we need to start doing, whatever is a behavior that gets us closer to our goal, is what we've got to set up for ourselves. So, for example, if our goal is to be more fit, we've got to start going to the gym every day. We've got to start focusing on our nutrition. And by having those 2 rituals in place, they will be our vehicles to get us to our destination. So, what are some daily things that you can do and set up for yourself on a habitual, ritual-like basis to get you closer to your goal? That's what you can do for the gym. If you want to create more sales and more clients, that's another thing you can do. You can start connecting with people, reaching out to people. You could run a webinar, you could run a workshop, which helps bring more people towards you. You could set up a challenge that you do and that you run that gather people around and that gathers your crowd more. If your goal is to deepen your relationship, maybe it's setting up a weekly date night and you have a wonderful experience together. Whatever your goal is, set up different tasks, different behaviors that contribute to that. And then lastly, the very last thing that we need to create any kind of success is have a big enough reason why. It's the most important thing. The why we're doing what we're doing, which goes beyond the goal, which goes beyond the tasks, is the pull. And so, for example, if we're creating success in our lives because we want to take care of our family, that is such a massive reason why. I want to protect, I want to provide, I want to ensure that my family has what they need to have. Wonderful thing. If it's, hey, I myself, I want to be an outstanding and incredible best version of me. Wonderful reason why. If you want to impact the world in a great way, beautiful reason why. We all have our own version of why creating transformation, change, success is important to us. And when we expand that as much as we can, any how, any goal, any task, any behavior becomes small and possible because our why is so big. As Jim Rohn says, with a big enough why, we can take care of any how. Tony Robbins has a version of it. Brian Tracy has a version of it. But it all comes back to that purpose, that meaning behind what we're doing. So write down now, what is your why? What's your most important reason why to show up every day, to go after success, to go after transformation, change, fulfillment? Why does this journey matter to you? I'd love to know down below in the comments section. Let me know. What is your why? To start setting up the goals, the vision for where you're headed. Start pairing that with behaviors, actions, tasks that you can get to utilize as a vehicle to get you towards your goal. And what is your reason why? You've got to know it. You've got to have that on board. And by doing this, setting up these various things, your journey to success is going to be a whole lot easier. And one last little bonus tip is go out there, grow and learn. Because if we want results that are outside our current space, we've got to become more than who we currently are. Because if we were the person who could have those results, we'd have them, right? And so we've got to learn, we've got to study, we've got to grow. Like, just at the moment, I'm reading the amazing book Traffic Secrets by Russell Brunson. And because I help and I manage a portfolio of businesses, all their marketing, all their digital assets to help them and their business success. And so I'm learning so much all the time about how to do that at a great standard, a great quality. And so Russell Brunson's one of my favorite guys. Whilst I'm at the gym, I'm listening to his books. And so I'm working out my body whilst growing my mind at the same time. And what I notice I can implement immediately from his lessons and learnings support the things I do every day to get me closer to my goals. And so if we aren't learning, if we're not studying, if we're not growing towards that destination, we're not expanding who we are and we won't be getting there any faster. If we're using the current thinking we have to get to a place we haven't been to, it is very difficult. And so you've got to start learning, you've got to start growing. So who's a resource? What's a book? What's what's a YouTube channel that you could start connecting with, ingesting, that's going to add to you getting to the destination that you want to? And figure that out as well. If you don't know, talk to AI, talk to ChatGPT. I trust I'll be able to give you some suggestions once you know those three things. Ask what can I start studying? What can I start learning? Once you know where you're headed, what's going to help you get there, and your biggest reason why, I trust ChatGPT can help you with some resources. So that's it from me today. A nice, short, and sharp one. I trust you've taken value from this video. If you haven't yet, please subscribe, comment all your wonderful answers, and I look forward to seeing you in our next amazing video.